Todd Owens, Capital Chaos TV, and we're here with Evan Linger, bass player for Skeletonwitch. How you doing, Evan?
Great, just played and it was awesome.
What's your thoughts on the tour so far? Well, I guess winding down the tour. So how's the tour been? You've had a few sold-out dates, and how's it been?
It's been awesome. We toured with Amon Amarth back in 2009, and it was pretty big for us. Like, big shows, big rooms. This is even bigger. Like every day is sold out and stuff. So it's been kick-ass. I think the crowd reaction is really good for all bands, and also it's cool to have a 3-band package. Like sometimes, like you'll go to a show and there's like 12 fucking bands on it or whatever, and this is way more, intimate. You get to see the band for a little longer and stuff like that. So it's been awesome. Yeah.
Cool. And so you released the album last year, Serpents Unleashed, in 2013.
Yep.
And how's feedback on the album, and what's your thoughts on the album now? It's been about a year or so.
Yeah. We released it in October, so it's been a little short of a year. But yeah, the feedback's been awesome. But just whatever people think of it is cool. We kind of poured our heart and soul into it and waited till we were ready to record, and I think put more into it as a collaborative effort between members than we have on other albums. So I'm really stoked about it. I couldn't have asked for a better product. I think we got a really good product, and I see kids singing the lyrics and stuff. So yeah, hopefully it's sticking.
And who's a producer on the album?
It's a guy named Kurt Ballou. He plays in a band called Converge, and he also has recorded like a ton of awesome bands that I like. Like I'm kind of into some of that metallic hardcore and stuff. He did like a Dysphere album. Tom Lindberg from At the Gates sings in that band. He's done a bunch of fucking albums a long time ago that are awesome too. So he's a real like rock and roll production sort of guy. Last time we kind of went with more like a slick like LA sort of thing, which sounded good, but we're a live band, and I think a rock and roll production lends itself to us recording a little bit better.
And was it Prosthetic Records? Is that what you guys are on currently, or?
Yep, on Prosthetic.
And how's the relationship with them? You've done several albums with them, correct?
Yeah, they're awesome. They're a smaller label, so compared to like like a Metal Blade or a Relapse or something like that.
You feel like you get a little more attention?
Yeah, I mean, we're just, I guess, a bigger fish in a smaller pond as opposed to a medium or a small fish in a really huge pond or whatever. So we do get a lot of attention. I mean, I send the owner of the label like really ridiculous pictures and stuff via text message and stuff like that. So
no problems.
No problems. It's pretty intimate. I can text him right now some sort of weird picture if you wanted me to. But yeah, they're awesome, and I'm glad to be with them.
And you guys have toured pretty extensively over the last probably, you've been in the band since I guess 2008 or so, or is that right?
Yeah, it's I guess this summer will be like 6 years.
6 years. So you guys tour extensively, but you notice you're on a lot of package tours and a lot of other tours and stuff like that. Any plans to headline something here in the States or elsewhere?
Yes, definitely. I think it's important for us to go out and headline. We really want to do it, and we'll come out and do it like a big headliner. Last year we did a 62 shows in 65 days headliner, where we combined like bigger markets like New York and stuff like that, but also like smaller like B markets like Long Island, and went and played that. So we headlined last year as well, but I think it's high time we headline. We have been on a lot of package tours, and it's awesome once you release a record to get on this and let people hear the new material, but we also want to get out there and headline. It's important.
I heard a lot of people today saying they want longer sets from you, so that's why I was asking.
Yeah, well, we want to play longer too, so only good thing about this is I can start getting drunk quicker because we have all night. Yeah.
Is there any favorite bands that you've toured with? You've got an extensive list of bands that you've toured with, and including I don't know, at one point Danzig and Ozfest and stuff. So any stories or any interesting experiences?
Yeah, I guess we've done some like big tours and got to brush elbows with some people that I think are kind of still like rock stars. Like Danzig's still a rock star to me. I still kind of get like a little like, oh my god, like when I see him or whatever. No specific.
How was that like, playing and opening or playing every night with him? I mean, that must have been awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome. Also, it was awesome to watch him every night. I'm a huge Danzig fan, so getting to see Danzig 32 times in a few months was fucking killer. But yeah, as far as like favorites and stuff, we just made some really good friends, even if you tour with a band that you don't like love musically, sometimes they turn out to be the fucking best people you've ever met and stuff like that. So we made some really good friends along the way.
And I wanted to ask you about the House of Blues back in January.
Orlando?
Yeah, you guys were not allowed to
We weren't there.
Well, yeah, so, I mean, what was the whole story with that? Just, I mean, how did that come down? How soon did you guys know about it?
We knew about it before the tour started or whatever. We just kind of waited to do like a press release about it because for a little bit more like shock value or whatever. But yeah, I guess they just like read our lyrics and deemed it inappropriate. And I know they've banned.
For those who don't know, they were not allowed to play. That was the only date on the tour that you guys weren't opening the show. It was House of Blues. They said it wasn't their style of, or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, we just weren't allowed, I guess. I know there's other bands that...
I was going to say, do they have a whole list of, you know...
I
think Deicide maybe had been banned as well, but...
I can't imagine why. Yeah, I know Cradle of Filth's been banned, which obviously makes sense. They're not very family-oriented. I don't think we're that, like, blasphemous or anything. I guess we have, like, Reduced to the Failure of Prayer. It's just, like, an anti-religious song or whatever. But as far as, like, the content goes, we say evil and demon and blood and shit like that, but... I don't know. It's kind of funny that it happened. We actually went and played in Jacksonville, so fuck them, you know.
Oh, you played that night? And
yeah, we just drove somewhere else and played another show.
Awesome.
That mouse can go to hell.
And this is just a weird fact. Sometimes you're rolling through Wikipedia or whatever, and they mentioned that you were on an Adult Swim video. I don't know if you've heard about that or you know about that.
Yeah.
The Bringers of Death song back in 2010.
Yes.
What was up with that?
Well, that's interesting. Adult Swim does these music things, and they put out compilation CDs, and sometimes they're rap or rock, and this one happened to be metal. So they picked a song that's on. It's the Euro bonus track. Or Japanese bonus track from Beyond the Permafrost, which is a record I didn't play on, but they picked that track to be on this compilation because it hadn't been released in the States or whatever. And they were going to pick someone to do the video, and they picked us. And we're not fucking Watain, we're not that serious or whatever, but it's like a cartoon channel and stuff, and we were actually a little like reticent to do it just because it could wind up being real goofy. But it turned out awesome. You know, we didn't have to do anything we wouldn't normally do. Like, we weren't like running around with like candy canes and whipping each other with licorice ropes and shit like that. You know, we kind of just did what we did. We played, and they did all this hilarious stuff. So, you know, our content is serious. We're kind of serious on stage, although we're having a good time. But at the same time, you know, we're not uber cult. You know what I mean? We're not going to turn down an opportunity like that. It was awesome to work with those guys. It was sweet. And I think a lot of kids come up and say that's the first time I heard of you because they have a huge audience. Adult Swim is a huge thing, I guess. So.
Cool. Yeah, I was unaware, so I'm informed now. You want to talk about any gear that you use, or any sponsors or unsponsors, whatever?
Right. Yeah, a lot of people ask what I use and stuff. I guess a lot of people do have sponsorships, and I don't. I think you know, good gear isn't cheap, and cheap gear isn't good. So I play a Rickenbacker bass and Ampeg stuff, and those fucking companies don't really give much away for free, but if they do, feel free to contact me. But I just use them because they're the best thing you can have. And there has been companies that said, you know, do you want some free basses, or you want free this and that? And it's like, I already have the best shit they ever made. I don't think I need anything else, and it sounds awesome. But I'm not really like a huge gear hound. Like, I don't look for like some like crazy vintage tone or whatever. I just, you know, try and dial in something that complements the guitars. I think that's lesson to bass players, something that a lot of bass players should do. I do have one endorsement that I think really, I guess, sculpts the Skeletonwitch bass sound is Seymour Duncan. They make a replacement pickup for Rickenbacker basses, and it's awesome.
It's that sound.
Yep, it does get that sound. It's also double coil, so it doesn't hum like the original Rickenbacker pickup is a single coil, so you're gonna get a lot of hum and stuff like that when you use an overdrive pedal with it. But I think it's the best aftermarket Rickenbacker pickup.
Awesome. And more plans for 2014. You mentioned a tour. Are you guys writing it all, or any?
We all have like writing ideas and stuff like that. Like, I have a few ideas. I know Scott has a bunch. He loves to kind of woodshed and come up with you know, new material and riffs and stuff like that. We'll all actually write drum parts to him too. And then
do you guys write while you're on tour, or is it an ongoing process? Or
it's kind of more of a home sort of thing. Actually, 90% of our writing is done by Nate. And he doesn't write on tour at all. And when he's home, he just kind of like, sometimes I'll work a second job at home, and his second job is playing the fucking guitar. And he sits down and he'll write a drum pattern on a drum machine and play guitar over it and make a song out of it, and then send us a demo. And then I'll add bass lines to it. Scott will add solos to it, and we'll get together and practice it. and maybe change it. Like instead of this part twice, it would sound better if it was 4. It would accommodate lyrics more appropriately if it was 4 or whatever. But what was the other thing you asked? Oh, later this year. Yeah, I said we're gonna headline in the fall, so we'll headline in the fall.
Will you have any input into who supports you, or?
Yeah, we have a list. So I don't know who it's gonna be yet. We haven't started asking too many questions, but
a master list among that.
We have a list of like hopefuls or whatever, and it's just bands we like.
Do you think you can share with us, or?
No,
nothing's definite.
Yeah, it's a little too soon. But yeah, I guess until then, our plans right now are we have this next month off. We're actually supposed to go to Europe on a tour, but with Overkill. But they had some sort of like something in the family, so they unfortunately canceled the tour. But I understand it's like a family issue with their singers. Yeah, I guess the singer had some sort of family thing, whatever. So we're not doing that. And then in April we go to Asia, and Australia, New Zealand. We haven't been there, so I'm excited about that.
Oh, that's.
We'll headline later in the fall. We're gonna do some Eurofest, hopefully. Get over for those big fests in the summer. Get over to Europe.
Sounds great.
Right now, that's all I'm at liberty to say.
All right. Well, you guys put a great set tonight, and thanks for taking the time to be with us. Anything you want to share with Capital Chaos TV?
No, just check us out if you haven't, and if you're at the show, thanks for coming, man.